Hey, welcome back, and I have some more buying and selling tips today. I've already did other buying and selling tips videos, so definitely check out the ones I did on books and movies. More to come as well. Today I'm going to talk about, this is basically going to be an array of other things other than books and movies. And this is kind of a general thing. I will do a music one that's going to be separate from because they kind of fall in the category of books and movies to where they really need to go in and be defined, and also cards in general, sports cards, other thing like that. I'm going to go and talk about them as well. So stay tuned for those two videos that I'll probably do today. So, woo! But today I'm going to deal with clothing and toys and maybe some of the other, miscellaneous things you're going to come across at, yard sales and so forth. So first I want to talk about clothing, and basically I'm going to go in and I'm going to tell you, like what to do to really like magnify your listings of these items on eBay. Because a lot of these things I'm going to talk about now, I wouldn't sell on Amazon unless they're brand new in packaging. Then you can deal with Amazon, and then you can do that. Amazon does not normally let you sell used clothing. I think there's different hurdles you have to jump over in order to do that. So, I'm not sure what those hurdles are, but you have to get a hold of probably the Amazon team through email to find out what those hurdles are. Yeah. So on eBay, when you list clothes, you gotta make sure you get good pictures is what you want to do. Don't take just one or two. You want to take probably at least 3 or 4, because you want to get a picture of the tag. You want to get a picture of front and back of the shirt. And if there's any blemishes or anything on the products or on the shirt or whatever, you want to take pictures of it. This goes for the same for toys. You want to take as many pictures as you can. If it's a used toy, take as many pictures as you can, so that the buyer. Well, I guess both of you should know, but anyway. So you guys all know the contract that you guys are getting into. Like, okay, well, this item looks really, really good. So when they get the item in the mail, it should look exactly like that. So that's why you should do that. So the description should basically tell them in a brief summary what it looks like. Why should they buy it? Too. Also sell it to them. Be a good salesman. Put in there, this would be great for a guy, for a work shirt, or this would be good for a girl going out in the town. Say things like that, because I think that really does help sell the item. And even if it doesn't, it makes for a good read. So definitely do that. And I also would suggest in the title put put things that are going to draw their attention, because somebody may put maybe selling the same exact item as you, and they'll put the brand name. They'll maybe put like a pattern, maybe like striped, and they may put like the size like in the title. And if you just put, like Abercrombie, shirt, they're going to probably go to that person first before they come to you. And if they have what they had the same thing as you, then you could have made that sale if you would have put this exact same thing as them. But they don't know what it is, so they're not going to waste the time going to yours since they already found what they were looking for. And that's probably, it doesn't really make much sense, but it makes sense to me. So it does make sense, because if they go to theirs, they don't know if there's any more competition. But if you put that in the title, then they know, okay, well, I see one down here that has the exact same description. So let me check out and see what the price is on that. So you want to price them competitively, but you also, once you build your feedback up and things like that, that will play a part in it at some point, especially if people are looking with the same product and they find like 3 or 4 different people with the same product. They may go to you because they've dealt with you in the past and they know you're going to give them a good product. And the other end of it, maybe your shipping is a little bit different and things like that. And I will go into shipping a little bit later in the video about these products. Now let's talk about toys for a little bit. Toys in general is, it's really, really hard to sell big toys. So if you're selling big toys, take a lot of pictures. Make sure they see every part of the toy and really give them a good understanding that they know what they're getting. in the mail. A lot of the big stuff I would really try and unload, maybe probably on Craigslist. Yeah, that's it. Probably Craigslist. Try and unload on Craigslist. You probably can make money off of there better on the bigger items. Like, if you're trying to sell like I don't know, I'm trying to explain what this, figure out. Like bigger play sets, probably. Like, they're probably easier to sell on Craigslist. Like I think my son has like a Batman playset, and he has like a Spider-Man playset, things like that. Like, those things I would probably try and sell on Craigslist, because those things are going to be harder than crap to ship, and it's going to cost a lot of money. And I mean, I know eBay, like, they pay for the shipping and everything, but it's just the fact of you trying to weigh that item. So unless you know approximately how much it weighs, it's kind of a trouble. And once I go talk about the shipping later on, it'll make more sense. And yeah, but anyway, the big toys I would stick with just loading them on Craigslist. Like small toys, like little figures, if they're older, they have like, Batman figures and things like that. Those are pretty easy. You can make decent money. You'll probably make a good money on them and such like that. Anything small, they're easy to load. Anything in, that's still like in packaging, like, it would probably be decent to package. Just make sure, you state how they're going to be sent, possibly, and that may add to them wanting to buy the toys off you. Also, do your research, and if you're not sure what product it came from or anything like that, because some people might actually be, toy aficionados, and they might, oh, this is a Batman figure from 1992, Hasbro. But if you don't know, if you don't know exactly where it came from, then just put on what you know, because the people that do know what it is, they might, you may not know what exactly it's worth, but they will. But toys, I would definitely take pictures of every aspect of them, and really try and get the best pictures possible. And I know smaller toys are a pain in the butt. I did in the past. They're hard to get rid of, and they're hard to get pictures of. Figure-wise, I mean, I think little toys, the best thing to do is put them in a lot and see what happens. Just put them together as, what they are, like groups, lots like that. Get rid of them that way if you're really trying to get, like, the most money. Because you got to think about shipping as well. When you're talking about clothes, and you're talking about toys, and you're talking about other items, knickknacks, things like that, you want to really, like, make sure they're shipped correctly. So that kind of plays into part, well, how am I going to sell them? And you got to think about the whole entire process when you go to list an item, too. You can't just think about, okay, I want my money, I want to sell this, I'm going to get the money, coming in. Well, that's nice, but you also got to think about, you got to pay for shipping before you get that money. You got to pay for shipping, you got to pay for all this other stuff. You got to pay for the packaging before you even take it to the post office. If you're going to get I'll talk about that later. But you want to package it before you go to the post office. That's the first step to being a good buyer and seller. I think. Yeah. You're not a true buyer and seller until you start doing it, at home and then taking it to the post office. Because you'll realize it's the cheapest way in the long run. So let's talk about other things. So what other things would you buy? Really, it's like anything breakable, I'm not really a big fan of. You can get into it. Mugs are really collectible right now. If you find any mugs and such, you'll probably sell them, probably for a decent price. I've seen them go for probably like $2-3. I keep hearing that they keep going for $2-3 or higher. If you get a mug that's like kind of old, you're going to be looking at maybe possibly $10 a piece. You never know. But I think they're going anywhere from $2, $3 to $5 minimum, on eBay. So for some reason, mugs are coming back. I don't know why. People are looking for like classic mugs and things like that. So there you go. Pretty cool stuff. So that's that. And basically, what you want to do is when you're looking for things other than the norm, music, books, and movies, and other things like cards. Yeah, if you're not looking for those stuff, then the other things are going to be kind of like you kind of just gotta take a chance. You never know what they're going to sell for unless you can find it on eBay that somebody has sold it before. You kind of gotta be like, kind of real general when you look for things on eBay. If you be specific and you can't find it, then it's like, what's something like it selling for? And then I would honestly subtract it by about 25%. So cut it in half, and then add half of that to it again, and that'll tell you how much you probably should sell it for that they sold it for. So and be realistic. If you've seen something being sold, and one sold for $50, and the other one sold for $5, which one do you think you should list it at? Probably start it at $5 if you want to, or start it at like probably $3 and see what happens. Because you're always going to get those bidders, and you may get that one item that no one pays attention to, and nobody bids on, and you may end up with no bidders. I will say this about if you're selling other things other than the media and toys will actually probably sell pretty good. So toys I wouldn't worry about, because once you list them a couple times, they should get sold. But I have had times where toys just will not sell. But for the most part, if you're dealing with something and you cannot get rid of it, you get stuck with something, and maybe if you're actually a buyer and seller, there is other things you can do, and I'm going to make a video about that today as well. I'm going to make a lot of videos today. So you're going to see my Doors shirt quite a bit. So if you get stuck with something, I would definitely hold on to it. List it about 2 or 3 times. If it goes about 3 times, I would say, okay, hold on, I'm not listing it right now. Let me hold off on this. But if I listed it a couple times, I would probably put it at a buy now. Make sure you put a buy now on it, and maybe list it for a decent price. Maybe lower your shipping costs. There's other things you can do. Eat some cash that you probably would have got on it, and you're going to lose money. Maybe lower the shipping cost, and you're going to lose money on it. But hey, what can you do? You have to get rid of it. You have to make money off of it. And that's your thing too. And sometimes you can raise the price and lower the shipping, and it makes the buyer think they're getting a good deal because the shipping's not very high, but they don't realize we did that on purpose. We raised the buying price up and lowered the shipping cost, but we're basically making our money on that. So sometimes you can do that, and it will actually help as well. I did that a couple times. It worked. A couple times it didn't work. So, if you didn't sell them and you're actually a buyer and seller, I will fully endorse Listia.com. If you cannot get rid of anything that you have on eBay, and it's a decent small item you're trying to get rid of, if it's not a small item, then just eat your money and hold on to it and keep listing it until it sells. That's all I know what to do about that. Or just take it Goodwill and get rid of it. Unload it. Take your losses. Yeah. But if you list it and you're not making anything off of it, I wouldn't list it more than 3 times. I would honestly give up after 3 times. If you want to go for the 5 mark, hey, it's your money you're paying to list these things. So it matters what thing it is too. If it's like a book or a music or something like that, like Fly. It's kind of your ball. As long as you want. But I wouldn't list it past 5 times. That's just ridiculous. After 5 times, then it's not going to sell. Yeah. So now let's talk about and anything else. Like I said, you're just gonna take a chance and listing like knickknacks and everything like that I haven't talked about. It's just basically weigh it, kind of guess on the shipping. If you get a scale, I did have a small scale. It was about that big at one point, and you can get them at like Staples. Like you can get all different kinds of scales at Staples. Office Max I think has them. You can get all different sizes of scales. If you're really getting into it, if you have some little extra money, you can buy a scale there, and that'll help you out in your thing as well. Also, if you go to Stamps.com, they actually have a deal. If you're really getting into doing this, you can actually go, and I think it's like $25.99. It may be a month, or it may be a package you can get like right off the bat. I think it's a month. You pay $24.99 a month, I think it is, and something I can't remember exactly what all you get, but I may have got everything wrong. But I think there's something going on where you can set up to where you get basically everything you need to do to order to ship things out. They tell you what to buy. They have things where you can buy there and everything like that. That really, really sets you up for success. And if I had money, I would do it. Anyway. Yeah, so if you're selling anything I haven't talked about, then just really, basically just do your research on eBay, on Rebay, and, yeah, do what you gotta do. Now let's talk about shipping real quick, and I'll add this into this video and kind of talk a little bit about it. And I haven't went in depth into clothes and toys. I basically did, but there's other things I could talk about, and I probably will at a later date. But that's really the basis of those kind of genres. We'll talk about shipping a little bit in that if you go to the post office, they're going to be higher on their packaging materials. They always are. You can buy a padded envelope from them for $1.59. Walmart, you can buy a padded envelope for the same one you can get there for $1.59. You can get it for, I believe, 69 cents or $1 at Walmart. Yeah. Kroger's the same way. You can get things for, you can even buy, and the best thing about it is I wouldn't buy one at a time. I would buy probably, if you're going to get really into doing, and you'll be selling a lot, get a 5-pack, like each kind of envelope, and keep them. And put them in a location, that you can store a little bit of packing materials. But I would normally hold on to, 5 padded envelopes, smaller padded envelopes, and, there's the ones that are kind of big. Because if you sell more than one DVD, I like padded envelopes. I'm a big fan of padded envelopes. I like to sell things in padded envelopes. So that's what I use for the most part. If you're going to get a box, you can use boxes around the house if you happen to have boxes around the house. You just got to realize what's allowed at the post office. You can't make it look like, I don't like sending things with a bunch of, stickers all over the box. Any UPS logos on the box, I try and tear off before I go there because I know it's a pain in the ass for them to have to deal with them. I just take them off before I go. And, and there's a lot of things you can do. Tape the box shut, really good if you're sending stuff in a box. And you can buy boxes at the store as well, but, and they're not that expensive. I think they're maybe, you may have to pay $1.50 for a box. But if, one of your friends has, a box, they're not using, or, some sort of size box. But the dimensions matter, things like that matter. The post office does sell boxes that you can put, so much in for so much money, and it's the shipping and everything. As long as it's under a certain weight, that you can send it in an envelope in that box. But the boxes are big, and I don't like weird dimensions for the post office boxes. And I think bigger post offices will have, I think, more options, but I just don't like post offices only open a certain amount of time. And I don't like dealing with that. I like to get my stuff, materials, pack it at home, take it in, don't have to be there for that long, and get out of there. Get in there and do what I gotta do and get out. Because, and usually now, it's when you go to the post office, everybody's there because they know they're only open for a certain amount of time. Now they've taken a day, I think, off of their shipping schedule now. So it's it's really a pain in the ass to deal with. So yeah, I would pack my materials at home, and with boxes, I would tape them shut. And if I have to put something on top of, if I have to put a mailing thing on top of it, I never know if they will do it for you. So usually what I do is I get some sort of, blank white paper, and you can use printer paper. That works really well too. Tape, cut out, cut out, probably cut in half, and you can cut, slice that in half, cut half paper in half, cut it in half. Make it to where it fits, to where you can put your address and whoever you're sending it to on there on paper. Tape it completely down, to where tape is covering all parts of the paper. Because the thing you gotta think about is too, what season you're sending it in, snow, rain. If that address gets messed up, it's not going to get to the seller. And that's what you want to happen. And on that note, I mentioned to somebody I talked to who's getting this, and if they watch this video, hey, congratulations for getting into this buying and selling thing. But it's a pain in the ass. And you want to make sure that you get tracking information for every item that you send out. People learn it the hard way, and it's good to start out if somebody tells you this, because you're going to come across, if you don't put tracking information, the one time you forget to put it on there, just be aware that could be the one time that person or someone will say they didn't get that item. And you're going to get mad about it. You're going to get, PO'd about it. You're going to get very, very angry. And there's nothing really that you can do about it. The only thing you have to do is learn from your mistakes and continue to get tracking number on every single item. So when I go to the post office every single time now, which is a lot easier now because I think they're starting to realize that a lot of their business comes from people buying and selling on eBay and so forth like that, Amazon, things like that. So they understand tracking is a very important thing, and post offices actually came up with, if you get a priority mail, if you pay a certain amount in postage, you get free tracking. So all you want to do when you go to the post office, if you're buying and selling, is ask, if you're not having to sell in a certain kind of shipment, go in and say, what's the cheapest shipping with, tracking included. That's what you want to do. I need to ship it, the cheapest way with tracking. That's what you need to go in and tell them. So, and I did that the other day. One package, got it shipped out, got the tracking number on there, boom, good, done. So, there you go. That's what you need to do, and every single time. And there's actually a place on my eBay where you can go and put that in. Amazon, they make you do it. There's no choice to do it on Amazon. You have to do it on Amazon. But on eBay, you can put it in there as well. They show it where you can put that in there. You don't have to put it in there, but I think it makes the buyer happier too, because they know that they're getting the items on the way, and they can check to see how far it is, where it's going to be, when it's coming, and things like that. And also, there's a lot of things on my eBay that I would definitely fill out. Make sure that all that's filled out. Make sure they know item has been shipped out. Possibly even send them a note. Saying, okay, item was shipped out. On Monday. Blah blah blah. Some people know what the expected date is, but if you don't know, don't worry about it. Just give as much detail as possible. Like I said, you want to be the best seller as possible. You want to put everything. Fill out your profile on eBay as well. Make sure they have all the information about you. Same on Amazon. Fill out things so they know things about you. I wouldn't put I'm dying. I need money for my health bills. Something like that, or I'm needing money. I need to move soon. Things like that. I wouldn't put things like that, but I would definitely put. I'm a great seller. I'm going to be selling this, and this. For me, I just say I sell anything and everything, and please check back for more items to see what I have in the future. Things like that. That's the kind of thing you want to put on your description of yourself. So I said a lot of things in this video. 22 minutes long, almost going to go 23. Yeah, it's going to be a little over. Anyway, so I think it's been an informative video. So if you guys have any questions about what I said, comment down below, or there you go. And for more things, like I said, on these kind of items, check out the Picking Profits channel. He's really great at giving tips as well, and he actually buys a lot of this kind of stuff that I talked about in this video. So he may be able to give you more tips, but I gave you tips that I learned on his channel, and things that I learned during my time buying and selling on eBay in the past probably few years I've been doing it, that I was able to do it. Thank you. Hope you continue to watch all the videos on here, and keep rocking.